central tendency, and measures of central tendency are numbers used to represent patterns in the data. Okay. One of the measures of central tendency is the mean. You already know how to do this, but you're not used to maybe this word. Mean is the same thing as average. And to find the average, you add all of your data. Okay, so you add up all your data and then you divide that answer by the number of numbers that you added. So if we want to find, for this example, Catherine had a lemonade stand. She made $3.50 on Tuesday, $4 on Wednesday, $5 on Thursday, and $4.50 on Friday. And we want to know what her mean daily profit was. So we're going to add up all of her daily profits. And we're going to divide that by, we're adding up 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers, so we divide by 4. So you get $17. If you divide that by 4, you get $4.25. So her average daily, or her daily mean, was $4.25. The median is the middle number in a set of data. If you think about it, the median in a road is the piece of grass that's in the middle of the road. Okay, so to find the median of the data is, first you put the numbers in order. Your numbers have to be listed in numerical order. From least to greatest. So that's our first step. We put numbers in numerical order. And then our second step is to locate the middle number. Okay. So I usually cross out numbers as I've written them down, because that way I don't miss anything. And I know I've used everything at the end. Now I'm going to actually look at the middle number. So if I just start moving in from each end, well, my middle number should have been right here, in between the 3 and the 5. So I don't actually have a middle number. So if that happens, you take the average of the two numbers on either side of the middle. So what I would do is I would do 3 plus 5 and divide that by 2. So my median would be 4. Okay, the mode is the number or numbers. You can have more than one mode. So it's the number or numbers that show up most often in a data set. If you have more than one, they all have to be showing up the same amount of time. So here we have basketball heights. And I'm just going to go through and starting with the lowest number, which is 70. If I look, there's only 170. So I'm just going to say there's one of those. There's 71. There's only one of those. 72. There's 1, 2 of those. There's no 73. So my next number will be 75. There's only one of those. 76, I have 1, 2, 3. 77, I have 1. 78, I have 1, 2, 3. 79, I have 1, 2. 80, I have 1. 81, I have 1. 83, I have 1, and 84, I have 1. Okay, so the two numbers that show up the most are 76 and 78. They both show up 3 times. So my modes are 76 and 78. Useful? Okay, well, we've got this situation where you have 6 tests and you want to have an average of a 90, which is an A, at least a 90. On her first 5 tests, she got an 82, a 96, a 92, an 83, and a 91. And then she's going to take one more test, right? We'll just call that, no, let's not use T. We'll just call that X for test. Okay. And we're going to take this whole thing and divide it by 6, and we want an average of 90. Well, we can add up all these numbers because they're all numbers, and that would give us 444. Okay, so we need to figure out what is this X. We want to know what her last test has to be. So to clear that 6 that's being divided, we're going to multiply both sides by 6.
Cancel it.
Yeah, that cancels the division. So the test that she has taken plus the test that she has not taken yet have to add up to 540. So to find out what this missing test is, we're going to subtract 444. Those will cancel. And that means she's going to have to get a test score of 96 in order to get an A in the class. Measures of variation are used to describe the distribution of the data. Okay, so measures of central tendency kind of bring us towards the middle, and measures of variation kind of tell us how far out it spreads. Range is the difference between the highest and the lowest data points. Range is pretty simple to find. You do the highest minus the lowest. So if we're finding the range of time that it took Olivia to walk to school, we look at the numbers. We have 28, 15, 15, 12, and 14. Okay, 28 is the high, and 12 is the low. So to find the range, I'm going to do 28 minus 12, so the range is 16 minutes. And so that tells me that the data has a 16-minute spread. When you think of quartiles, it sounds like quarters, and there are 4 quarters in a dollar. Quartiles separate your data into 4 parts.
Just like with the inequalities, starting with 4 points too.
Something like that. So the lower quartile is the first fourth of the data. And then the upper quartile is the last fourth of the data. And then you have 2 quartiles in the middle. The lower quartile is labeled Q1. The upper quartile is labeled Q2. Or sorry, not Q2, Q3. Okay, so we're going to find the median, the lower, and the upper quartile of this data set. Okay, so step 1 is to arrange. We have to put it in numerical order. So if we look at this data, 14 is the smallest number. Then I have 16, 17, 17, 20, and then 21, 26, 28, 29, and 35. Okay, so we've arranged in order. Our second step is to find the median. Okay, now the median is labeled as Q2. So what I usually do to find the median is I just start moving in from the sides. Okay, right here. This is where the median goes. I don't have a median per se. So I'm going to find the average of these 2 numbers. And that equals 20.5. And that's Q2, or the median. Okay. And then to find Q1 and Q3, you're finding the median, or the middle number, okay, so the median breaks the data in half, right? If it's the middle number, it breaks the data in half. So now I have 2 halves. So now I find the middle of each half, or the median for each half. So if I'm looking here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. This is the middle, right? 2 and 2. So this is Q1. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. 28 is the middle, so that's Q3. So I only have 3 quartiles, but if you look now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 sections of data now, after it's been broken up.